Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. So we are back. I am your host Sleepy Celestial. So guys, like I promised, this is going to be part 2 of our video. Now, after we covered the history of the primal days of Adonais, we're back with part 2. We're going to be talking about the primal form of Perinida Parnkgjas. Now, like I mentioned before, the Perinida that we saw in modern time in the core, which fought Mayuri and got to reveal the history of Perinida by using his scientific tools to know the abilities of Perinida. We came to find out more history of Perinida, which I am going to cover a lot here. So if you guys are interested for more, please subscribe to the channel. I'm not stressing this any further. If you guys really love what you guys see here, let's talk about it. So now, like I said, Perinida Parnkgjas, which is also revealed to be the left hand of the Soul King. Now, Perinida has 3 forms. Now, you're gonna be like, how is that possible? Now, the first time we saw Perinida had this ghost-like figure form, which actually stems back from being connected to Yhwach, and as well as the form of Ichibei, almost like it had like this ink-like appearance when he was merged with Ichibei. Now, Perinida has 3 types of abilities besides the abilities that it had when it was attached to the Soul King. Now, we're not sure when Perinida is merged with the official part of the Soul King, which is Adonais' full connection, what other abilities that he has. We know that Perinida has the ability of advancement, which allows him to learn speech patterns and abilities very quickly and learn to adapt. Like Perinida's ability to adapt, I believe and could conclude that Perinida was also the reason why we got the Stern Raiders, especially with the Volt Standish, because for a time now, I have a theory that Perinida was merged with Yhwach when he was resting for those 900 years. The whole prediction of the 999, the 9 years to return his memories and power. Perinida has the ability to connect to nerves and creating inanimate objects, almost as if he gives life to things that are not livable. He's also able to control things that are livable, which is his whole gig. Like, his ability is able to control nerves and also shoot nerves from his fingertips. He could also be regenerative when it comes to disconnecting certain member parts of its body, and from that he's able to create more of himself. By ripping off even a finger, he's able to create more of himself, which is pretty insane if you think about, this is a power that was not even granted to him. This is a power he always had because he is part of the Soul King. We also seemed as if Perinida was also subjugated to, to be obedient to Yhwach, because when we saw Perinida reveal himself, he was connected with these chains. Now, I'm not sure these chains are able to help him morph into the hooded like form. Now, in the manga, it showed that Perinida had another hand, like he created a hand for him to like attack. But I saw that they removed that in the manga, indicating that they scrapped that out completely. Like father and son, Perinida was able to be the host of Yhwach as well as the originator, which is Adonais. Now, like I mentioned before, the first time we got to see Perinida's second form, or his first form, it was the form that was able to help Perinida in the control of Ichibei to seal the eyes of Yhwach when he was meeting with Yhwach with Ichibei 1,000 years ago. That version of Yhwach was primitive before the war, so before he even intervened into the 1,000-year blood war with the original Gote 13, his eyes got sealed away, so he was near death. We knew that Ichibei mentioned that the only way you would regain your eyes is to basically die or die in battle in order for you to reclaim your eyes, but that would be too late. Ichibei also mentioned that, you know, once his eyes are sealed, he's basically going to have to live a modest life. From all of these conversations, there's a lot of things that were peaked. So we knew that, like, after Yhwach got his eyes sealed, he got defeated by the Gote 13, the original one, and the original Schutzstaffel also got destroyed at the same time. Now, when he merged with Perinida, I think with its 1,000 times, or the years that he spent reclaiming all of his abilities and his memories back, Perinida actually, I think, speed up that process, because this was the form of Mimi-Hagi, or even primal form Perinida. Primal form Perinida is a merge between Ichibei and Perinida. And Perinida looks more like a ink. He looks more like the glittery brush that Ichibei has. And I think that's very telling, and I don't think nobody then really asked about why Perinida looked like that. And Perinida also gave an ability to Ichibei, because Ichibei was able to create these giant arms, and I think this came from Perinida, not Adonais. It came from Perinida itself. Whoever hosts Perinida was able to create these different hados and different forms of hidden spells, because at a point Ichibei was merged with Perinida. So when Yhwach took the Perinida back into his body, Ichibei said, "You think I would give you the Soul King's parts for free? So in return, I will seal your eyes." And he even mentioned when he touched Perinida, he saw all these different history of the Soul King, indicating that Perinida had 3 different forms. Perinida had the first form, which was attached to the Soul King, of course. The second form was basically when he merged with Ichibei, and that ability, because of Ichibei's powers, he was able to seal the Almighty that Yhwach has, which would explain why when Perinida got resurrected or returned into the real world, he had a physical body, and the physical body regressed almost to its weaker state, but it was still powerful enough to be considered an elite guard. Like the shooting nerves and the different things on his body, that is nothing that any Quincy has. He's able to control inanimate objects and brings them to life. So that is the history of the primal form of Perinida Parnkgjas. Stern Raider C, the compulsory. Now we're going to shift our focus into the stalemate of life, which is Mimi-Hagi. Now, I can't wait to cover this because there's so much I could talk about for Mimi-Hagi. And out of the 2, which one is powerful? We will discuss that in the next episode. So, see you guys for part 3. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys. Click and subscribe as we hit 1K.